Have you ever wondered if miracles are real? Well, let me tell you a story about a little cat who proved they are. This is the story of Mr. Han's family restaurant, a place that went from the brink of closing to the talk of the town, all thanks to a four-legged hero named Fortune. Picture this, a cozy little restaurant, once bustling with life, now eerily quiet. The laughter and chatter of happy customers had faded, replaced by the hum of an old refrigerator and the flicker of a single, lonely light bulb. This was Mr. Han's reality. His family had poured their hearts and souls into this place. But now, the bills were piling up, and the closing soon sign was tucked away, waiting for the day he finally admitted defeat. It felt like the end of a dream, but in the quiet gloom of the dining room, one tiny creature hadn't given up hope. Her name was Fortune, a little stray cat they had taken in during a harsh winter. Every single morning, without fail, she would sit by the front door, a fluffy sentinel guarding the last embers of hope the family had left. She'd watch the empty street, her green eyes filled with a strange, unwavering confidence, as if she knew something they didn't. She wasn't just a pet. She was a silent keeper of their fading dream. All Mr. Han wanted was a second chance. Just a few more customers, enough to pay the bills, enough to keep the sizzle in the kitchen and the lights on. He'd look at the empty chairs and his heart would sink. The weight of failure was heavy, a constant pressure on his shoulders. But whenever that despair crept in, Fortune would be there. She seemed to have a sixth sense for his sadness. She'd rub against his legs, her soft fur a small comfort against his worn-out trousers. She'd stand on her hind legs and gently tap her paw against the open sign, as if to say, "Don't give up yet." At the crack of dawn, her insistent meows would echo through the empty restaurant, a furry alarm clock urging him to get up and try just one more day. The family saw her as a sweet, comforting presence, but they had no idea what was brewing in that clever little cat's mind. Fortune wasn't just offering comfort. She was hatching a plan. A plan to save her home and the family she loved. And it was a plan that was about to unfold in the most unexpected way. One particularly gloomy afternoon, the kind of day that makes you want to stay in bed, the restaurant was a ghost town. Not a single customer had walked through the door. Mr. Han was in the back, staring at a stack of overdue notices, the closing soon sign feeling closer than ever. Suddenly, a small, determined figure leaped onto the front counter. It was Fortune, but she wasn't empty-pawed. Clutched gently in her teeth was a shiny red ribbon, and tied to it was an old, tarnished coin. It was the same kind of coin Mr. Han's grandmother used to keep in the cash register, one she swore would bring customers. He smiled, a sad, bittersweet smile at the memory. Just as he reached for the coin, the bell above the door jingled. The sound was so startling it made him jump. A traveler, looking lost and tired, stepped inside. Then, just minutes later, another person, and then a whole group of students, laughing and shaking off the rain. They all said the same thing, pointing a finger at the counter. "We saw your cat outside. She was sitting on the sidewalk, just looking at us. When we started to walk away, she meowed and led us right here." Fortune had literally been recruiting customers off the street. But the real shock came when the door opened again, and in walked a woman he recognized instantly, a famous food vlogger with millions of followers. And who was leading her in? Fortune, trotting ahead like she was the owner of the place. The vlogger laughed. I've never been personally invited into a restaurant by a cat before. I had to see what this was all about. That night, her video went viral. The next morning, there was a line stretching around the block. The change was instantaneous. It was like a switch had been flipped. Overnight, Mr. Han's restaurant became the most popular spot in the city. The phone rang off the hook with reservation requests. The kitchen, once silent, was now a symphony of chopping, sizzling, and happy shouts. The dining room buzzed with energy, filled with laughter, warmth, and life. Kids dragged their parents in, not just for the food, but to get a glimpse of the famous cat. They'd take photos with Fortune, who seemed to pose for every single one. Old regulars, who had stopped coming when things got quiet, returned with smiles on their faces, happy to see the place thriving again. The closing soon sign was taken down, not just put away, but torn into little pieces and thrown out. In its place, Mr. Han hung a brand new, hand-painted sign that read, Fortune's House of Good Luck, and Fortune herself. She took her new role very seriously. You could often find her perched proudly on the cash register, the little red ribbon tied around her neck like a crown. From there, she'd watch over her kingdom, her home, the place she had saved. She'd occasionally give a slow, sleepy blink to her favorite customers, a silent acknowledgement from the true boss of the restaurant. A few weeks later, after the initial whirlwind had settled into a steady, happy hum, a reporter came to do a story on their incredible success. She sat across from Mr. Han, notebook in hand, and asked the million-dollar question. So, what's the secret to your comeback? A new recipe? A brilliant marketing campaign? Mr. Han leaned back in his chair and a genuine, heartfelt smile spread across his face. He glanced over at the counter, where Fortune was peacefully napping in a patch of sunlight. He shook his head. No, he said, his voice full of emotion. We don't have a new recipe. Our marketing budget is still zero. We just have one lucky cat who believed in us when we had stopped believing in ourselves. As if on cue, Fortune opened one eye, blinked slowly, and let out a soft, contented purr. It was as if she was saying, See, I told you everything would be okay. From that day forward, the restaurant never struggled again. It became a local legend, a testament to the fact that sometimes all you need are two things to succeed: good food and one very, very magical cat. Thanks for watching our story today. If you believe in the magic of animals, hit that like button and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. See you next time.